Hello and welcome to the Nursing Hustle. My name is Natalie and we're going to get right into this. I have 3 jobs for you that are all VA related. All right. So we're working smarter, not harder here. And these are some examples of jobs that I found. And if you don't know already, this channel is for nurses who have 2 years of hospital experience, whether it be in a hospital or skilled nursing facility. And possibly some of these jobs will require maybe a year of home health care, because you need to have like some case management experience, some regulatory experience that can help you with your resume to get hired for some of these jobs, right? But not all. And I posted a remote job yesterday, and I did ask you to drop a comment down below to let me know what it is that you're looking for, because when I do these job searches, I'm doing them just as if I were looking for myself. All right. And something I want you to keep in mind, right? And I know we're looking for that $100,000 a year without, killing ourselves in the hospital, right? Been there, done that. Something I want you to keep in mind is that when you have a remote job, right, you're able to have some tax deductions, right? So I'm not a tax advisor, so talk to your tax advisor, but you get deductions for a home office. You don't have to drive into work. So be flexible with yourself when you're just getting into this at how much you will take. When I first started looking for work from home jobs, I was at the time willing to take, I think I started at like 60,000, right? And I thought, wow, like I could really make more. I was doing more in home health, but because of the flexibility of working from home, when I realized I could take those tax deductions, I did learn how to do my own taxes, and I will create a separate area because I'm not a tax advisor. If you want to know what I've done, I'm willing to share with you, but you should always reach out to your tax advisor. What I did find though is that sometimes I didn't get all the deductions, so I started doing it myself, which is a whole other thing. But if you want some advice on that, let me know. I'll create a separate area where we can chat about things like that. But we're just going to get into this today, right? So I have 3 jobs here, and they're all on USA jobs. And I know I just reached out to my contact at the VA who works in human resources to find out if she's a contact that I can share with some of you if you reach out to me personally or not, or if she's just area specific. I don't know exactly how HR works, but I do know that you need to apply for these government jobs on USA jobs. Okay. And the one thing that's really important is you need to make sure that the jobs are open to the public. And if you don't know, I'm going to share with you that my husband is military. So these jobs are open to military wives and so on and so forth before those other people are giving the military personnel and their spouses are given priority above the public. When they are looking for jobs. And you have to be, I'm going to click one open, and you have to be very mindful also of the closing date for these jobs, right? So this one here is for a nurse manager for professional development at the Veterans Hospital. This is a pay grade VN00, and I'm going to show you what that means below. And this job closes on the 29th. So if you go to apply on the 30th, guess what? Close. But look at this pay. 195,000 to 145,000. Reports to the Deputy Associate Director of Patient Care Services, is direct supervisor to nurse educators, transition to practice and post-baccalaureate registered nurse care coordinator programs. The nurse manager is responsible for the direction of supervision of office professional development staff, including unit, department specific, blah, blah, blah. we all know the blah, 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 right? So what we want to get down to, and the other thing to consider too, when you're looking for a job, is that you want to consider the benefits. And the VA has like amazing benefits. And so you want to, where are they? Let me see if I can find them here. Move this aside. Let's move this here. So see that? Like this one has a minimum of 5 years experience for a nurse. MSN is preferred, which means you don't have to have an MSN, but if you have one, they will take it. I guess you'll get priority if you have an MSN for this position. And you have whatever Lean Six Sigma certification is in your favor. That's something I don't have myself, just FYI. And here's the general scope, like of, the position. So if you start off and you have an ADN, right, you're level one, nurse one, level one, nurse one, level two. So based on these levels, however they bring you in at, right, will determine the type of pay that you get. The MSN, of course, is going to get a higher level of pay. One thing I want, here it is, the following scope of education will determine your level of pay. Okay, so that's how they, in case you're wondering how they determine the pay. And you have to be a graduate of a professional school of nursing, and an accredited school. And that's specifically, that goes so much for Florida, because we had a scandal out here in Florida where I live, where nurses were somehow people were getting degrees, getting their nursing licenses without actually doing the work. So I guess that's a whole thing. But anyway, I digress. So here's benefits. I want to talk about benefits because currently where I work, I have other benefits. So you need to weigh the pros and cons when you're applying, right? Like I said, you need to consider your time, right? Like if you're commuting an hour back and forth to work, let's say, and you're buying your lunch, like because you don't have time to pack, you're tired. So you're just like grabbing lunch wherever and paying for it. You're paying for your uniforms and you're not getting those tax deductions. How much are you spending, right, to go to that job? How much gas are you spending to go to that job with that commute, right? So you're losing time, you're losing money because you're spending gas and you have to do repairs on your car. So this is something that I learned to take into consideration when I was considering my wages, right? Because yes, $100,000 a year is amazing, right? In some areas, depending where you live, the pay is going to be more. If you live up north, I know nurses get paid a little bit more, but then also their cost of living is higher, their rent is higher. So to me, it was always worth it to take a remote job, especially because rent right now, right, is so high. So what if you could take a deduction for your rent? For your, yeah, even if you rent somewhere, you can take a deduction for the space that you use for your work. And you have to talk to your tax advisor about this. I don't want to go into detail, but you can take a deduction for that. You can take a deduction for the lighting, for the electricity that you're using, for your computers, for the space, the desk, the items that you buy to do your job at home. Talk to a tax advisor. But when you consider all these deductions that you're going to take, guess what? Maybe taking $75,000 a year to start is not so bad. I just want to throw that in there because I know a lot of us are fixated on the amount that we're bringing in, and we don't fixate enough on what we're putting out to bring that in, right? So if you're putting out, I'll do a cost analysis for you, an example, maybe in another video of what it costs to actually go to work right now, to actually leave your house and go to work. And that's not even the cost of being away from your family and not being able to spend that time with them. And as nurses, we know, right? You're spending, if you're working 12-hour shifts, you're spending 13 hours in the hospital. And then you got a 2-hour commute. That's 15 hours of your day. What is that worth to you? Just say, and I'm not saying those jobs, those other jobs are out there, right? But we know as nurses, we got to put in our dues. Like I had to do the hospital work. I started in a skilled nursing facility because when I graduated, the area where I live, the hospital nursing jobs were just like that. Those were prestigious jobs, right? And so until in the area where I live, in the little town where I live. So if you worked at the community hospital, like that was like you were the shit, right? Like if you were working at the community hospital. And until I realized, yeah, like an hour, I could go an hour away and make a lot more. And I did that I did the cost analysis and realized, yeah, that's a better option for me. And there's more to be had if I drive into the city, which was at the time, I think 45 minutes away from me. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, look at these benefits, right? 50 days, paid days of time off per year, 26 days of annual leave to start, 13 days of sick leave. Guys, I didn't even get that at my current job, right? 26 and then 11-day federal holidays. You get 50 days off to start per year. That's more than a month. That's a month, over a month and a half off. I think that's worth it, right? The schedule, here's the schedule, 7:30. I like the schedule, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 8 to 4:30. So there's some flexibility in the schedule. Telework is ad hoc. So I guess, that's to be determined because this is not a virtual position, right? So like if you need to work from home to do something, you may have that flexibility, which is what I like about the VA. My husband is a military veteran and he does work. He works IT at the VA and he doesn't work from home. His job is not a virtual job, but it can be done virtually in an emergency, which is also a great perk. All right. So here's this job here. I'm going to link these postings. This one closes you can either write it down or I'll link it down in the description. You can just grab these job numbers down in the description afterwards. I have 2 more jobs that I'm going to review with you. Okay. And this one says that there might be some occasional travel. Where is this one located? Let's see. Where is this one? Oh, this is in Florida. This is at the West Palm Beach VA in Florida. All right. So if any of you if anybody's in Florida, I know, the nurses in Florida complain about a lot about what they get paid here, and so I didn't even realize that. So if you're looking, there's one vacancy. Obviously, it's going to be pretty competitive, but it's worth applying. And what I like about applying on USA Jobs, right, is that you can search multiple jobs and apply for multiple jobs at the same time, and it doesn't get used against you. If you are not a candidate for one job, you may be a candidate for another job. All right. So I don't want to close this window out because I want to make sure I save this and put it in the description box for you. So, okay, this one's for a nurse practitioner. And I saw this and I'm like, let me, this one's a remote. That's why I pulled this, because I'm sure there are nurse practitioners out there that are doing their rounds in the hospital. They've worked in I'm not a nurse practitioner, but they've worked in doctors' practices or whatever, doing the doctor's work and not getting the doctor's pay. Although, no shade out there, because these doctors with the HMOs are not getting paid what they used to. It's crazy. But anyway, so it's really crazy. But look at the salary, right? And this one's remote. So if you are a nurse practitioner, you need to be looking at this. You need to be checking out the usajobs.gov website. Let's see what the requirements are. The closing date for this is 1/27/25. Listen. Yeah. Let's see what they're asking for experience. And when I open these up, I'm just going through them. I'm doing quick searches, but I'm actually going to go through them with you. Okay. and I vet them a little bit, but then like the little nitty gritty details I go through with you. So duties are not limited to virtual independently manages alert for panels of patients with acute chronic illness and conditions with an emphasis on health promotion and disease prevention using evidence-based practice. Well, that's what we do, right? That's clear. Pay time off, we know about that. Conditions of employment, you have to be a U.S. citizen. Yeah, any federal jobs, you have to be a U.S. citizen to work at the VA. Education, postmaster's certificate, a master's or postdoctoral degree as a nurse practitioner. Obviously, if you're a nurse practitioner, you have at least a master's degree, right? So this is pretty amazing though, right? Like, so if you're a nurse practitioner and if you're looking for a work from home job, this is an amazing job to apply for. Cover letter, and it tells you exactly, be mindful of what they're asking for, right? Like, so you want to make sure that you're when you fill out the application, that you're giving them all the information that they ask for, that you go through and you see what they're asking for. It tells you exactly how to apply. If you do not submit all the information, they will put your application aside. FYI. Okay? So they get many applicants, and they will put you aside and move on to the next, right? So we got to follow directions. All right. So the next one is, let's see. The nurse practitioner. I thought I had 3. This is the nurse practitioner. Nurse practitioner. Oh, I had 2. I thought I had 3. Let's see. This one, I'm sorry guys. Let me admission and discharge coordinator. I saw this one and I thought, oh, this would be right up my alley, because I like discharge planning. I like I like education, so I love discharge planning. Anyway, this is for the New Mexico VA healthcare system. So the salary is, it says 7,800, but I think it's 78,000. I think they made a boo-boo. And this is getting ready to close on the 23rd. What's today? Today is the 21st. So in 2 days, this closes. So if you're interested, if you're near, if you know someone that lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and is looking for a job, reach out and touch someone, let them know. And this one is, let's see what the duties. Discharge planner, case manager, is an active and multidisciplinary team, blah, blah, blah. You can read this. Transition, demonstrates knowledge and ability of applying nursing process, which most nursing jobs you have to. Now, we already know what the benefits are. And the benefits, what I like about the VA is that the benefits are pretty much the same for all. Like your time off, depending on your grade, might differ, but as nurses, like it's pretty much the same. And and the other thing that I like is like these levels. So when you go in, even if you were in with an ADN, right, level 3, they have like these grades of the way that they promote you, right? So you're a nurse, you come in as a nurse level 3 with an MSN, you might be a nurse 3, and then there might be like a level 1, level 2, level 3, every year, so that when every year comes and you're due for your increase. Now, I can't speak to that because I can't speak 100% to that, but that's what I've seen with my husband. It tells you exactly what to do, how to apply, and this will be also, and it even gives you a contact person. So, what I like about this is that, the contact person is here. So if you have a question, right, about applying for this job, you can reach out and touch someone. Okay. And it tells you how to apply. All these jobs tell you how to apply. Some nurse practitioners may make more than this, but again, consider the fact that you're not commuting, you're not paying for gas, you're not paying for repairs on your car, uniforms, you may have to wear your lab coat, right, to talk to a patient if you're doing virtual telehealth where you actually have to zoom in and see the patient. But just like a virtual mental health visit. But, I don't, and the tax deductions for working from home. I think a lot of us, a lot of nurses maybe don't even realize that that's a thing. So when these jobs come up and you don't see like the price range that you want, you automatically say, well, I'm making more than that. Like, why would I take this job? Well, think about the things. Think about the complete picture and what's going to work from you, and then think about the commute and the time away from your family too. Like, so we all have to decide for ourselves what's going to work best for us. All right. Well, I think that's it. That's all I have for today. I wanted to bring you these jobs. I came across them. I will, I don't know how many times I'm going to post a day. I love going and looking for these jobs. Let me know what you're looking for. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know if you're a nurse practitioner. Are you an MSN? Are you, what specialty you are looking for, or what specialty that you're open to moving into, right? Like, so what jobs are you open to looking at? And I'm going to be posting everything. For my newer nurses, the biggest challenge is getting that 2 years in the hospital, right? And some of us, like me myself, when I originally transitioned out, I did home health, but I did keep for a little while. I kept doing PRN work in the hospital, so I would fill in where needed at the university hospital in the area where I lived. But eventually, I just didn't anymore. And, I moved on and found that I could keep my peace in different ways. But also, a lot of things in my life change as you get older. If you have kids, all these things to consider, right? That you're looking, that work-life balance that you're looking for, and work-life balance is going to look different for everyone. All right, ladies. So, and gentlemen, I always say ladies, you guys, you male nurses out there, you rock too. So I thank you for joining me, and let's hustle smarter and not harder. And I will see you in the next video. And don't forget to drop me a comment down below and let me know what you're looking for, where you currently work, and I'll do those searches for you. Okay? All right, let's work together. All right. See you in the next one.